Good morning and welcome everyone to the London Session Markets Color hosted by the Value Flow Trading Team and powered by our favorite Opta, your favorite broker, Opta FX. Good morning once again. Good morning, Adi, Alex, Chris, Noah, Luashe. Morning, Mr. Sheyuni. And yeah, good morning to everybody here. This morning we'll be looking at the markets, looking at the indices markets quickly before we transition to the second part of the analysis where we look at commodity asset classes, right? This morning, before we go straight into the chart, please, we encourage us to please send the link to this Zoom section to as many as possible, right? To Instagram community, belong to Telegram community, Facebook community, share to your Instagram story, your WhatsApp status to invite as many as possible interested in trading the market, right? Good morning once again. I'll give us about 2 or 3 seconds to do that while we move to the chat this morning. All right. So a quick one this morning, we'll be looking at US30 first before we proceed to other currency pair, other pair. US30, I believe you can all see my screen. Just let me know if you can see it so I can rectify the issue. All right. So, okay, thank you so much. So on US30, we are overall bullish in the daily time frame, and then microstructure on the 4 hours is beginning to break a structure today, at least to the downside. That's the first break of structure to indicate that we are temporarily bearish. When we go to the lower time frame, we're going to see that. But on the 1 or daily time frame, we are strongly bullish. We're strongly bullish to the upside, and I've been reiterating it. The reason for this is, fundamentally speaking, we are in the election year. If you understand election cycle, election year cycle, it's like a theory in trading where 2 years before the election, you see stock market rally just in anticipation of the market of the new president, right, coming in. So, and that is what we're currently having now in terms of indices. The theme in the market, unique to US30, NAS 100 and S&P 500, right? So we tend to see the stock market rally to the upside. That is what we're seeing on the daily time frame. We've seen this last year. We saw a very huge rally. Also this year too, we've seen the same thing happen, right? Let's look at this chart. You will see this is 2024. What happens in 2024? The market has been to the upside, right? So it's a theme in the market, and we all know that you should be aware of that. When is the next rally? Probably 2027 and 2028, right? That's the next strong rally we're going to see. All right. Talking about the 4 hour time frame, let's come to on the daily time frame. What are we seeing? Last week, I think we're at this zone here. On Tuesday, market was selling off, and then on Wednesday, I said that we might most likely touch this fair value gap or this other block, and then that is what we saw the market did, just tap into this fair value gap and then started pushing to the upside. This model is very powerful. This 3 candle model is very, very powerful when it comes to US30, and in fact, all the indices asset class, they are very sensitive to fair value gaps and other blocks, right? In this season, most likely they are very sensitive to fair value gaps, right? You just want to see the one that is having more confidence and then use it to take trade. All right, on the 4 hour time frame, what are we seeing? Right? Markets broke this recent high and then pushed the upside. However, we've not seen a break of this high. Instead, markets broke like a higher low right here. Market broke like this higher low right here. However, this is not strong enough because we still have this guy here, right? And overall, from the daily time frame, we are very bullish. On the day time frame, we are very bullish. So what am I waiting for this morning? Market is kind of in a range this morning. In terms of intraday trade, I'm going to look out for. Overall, I'm buying US 30, I'm buying NAS, I'm buying S&P 500. I'm just saying, where am I looking for to enter from this morning? Probably I might want to start buying off from this zone, right? Because this is the like the closest zone with a little bit of confluence. When we go to the 1 hour time frame, you're gonna see what I'm trying to say. So this is a zone with a little bit of confluence. Also, I'm having concern because we have an entire area that have not been touched around this level, right? So we can see price probably take out this higher low and then retest it to come into this zone before continuing this buy to the upside. So that's a major concern. However, with what we have this morning, that we've seen price done, if it's going to start selling off, I want to see a retest of this level, right? Price retesting any of this level above this zone and then start falling to the downside. If I see that happen, then I might want to relax on my bias I have on this level here from this lower low that I want to buy. Let's come to the 1 hour so it can be very clear. All right. I intend to buy from this other block because there's this other block here. There's a 5 value gap above the other block. There have been a couple of sweep below it. So I'm expecting that price is going to tap into this other block and then start pushing to the upside, right? However, if that is not the case, if we don't see that happen and we see price do something like retesting this fair value gap above or this bearish order block here, then I might want to just cancel my order sitting around there and then leave the market to just do its thing and without stressing it whatsoever. All right, so that is what I'm looking at on US 30 for an intraday trade. Overall, I'm very, very bullish. When it comes to 4 hours, there are still many fair value gaps to be filled, right? We have multiple fair value gaps just beneath here. This has been filled by this guy. We have another one here. We have another one just beneath this one. But will price get to this point today? I'm not really sure. I'm just working with I'm working with what I have here on the chart, the 1 hour chart. That is what I want to work with this morning and see how that works out for us, right? There's a fair value gap just above here. There's another block, tiny other block that is almost negligible, but this is US 30. We can just see a wick off the other block and then spike to the upside. And the interesting thing about this is we might see a wick on this other block and then it's just going to do say 1:3, 1:4, and then still come back to invalidate the other block, right? So you might want to even just catch that simple 1:3, 1:4 before we see it start dancing to the downside. Example of what I'm trying to explain, I was on a trade yesterday. Forgotten the exact trade, but I think it was on NAS one. I think it was on NAS 100, right? It just something like this. There was a sweep, break to the upside. There's a other block here, and then price tapped into it. In case of NAS, it was a fair value gap. Price tapped into the fair value gap and started pushing to the upside, right? And then did 1:4, 1:5. Before I came back, price already came back to my entry, right? So sometimes you might see that exact trade play out, but then if you're not fast enough to just take something off the table, it might even come back to your SL or to your entry position. So on US 30, like I mentioned this morning, I'm very, very bullish on US 30 on price to tap into this zone and then touch this fair value gap. We now see continuation to the upside. The only exception is when I see price retest any of this level, this fair value gap, order block before tanking to the downside, then I want to cancel my order because that means that we've now started creating microstructure to the downside, something like this. Went up, came back, broke structure. I just want to cancel my order, right? Because of the microstructure we begin to create the downside. All right, that will be on US 30. Let's go to NAS 100. NAS 100, we are bullish. We are also bullish. NAS has been struggling to clear this high. Has been struggling to clear this high. I really don't know what is happening, right? Been seeing attempts to clear the eye, this bullish candle, followed by a very strong bearish candle that validated all the move that happened the previous day. So I want to see a break of this, a clear of this all-time high. That's 20,763.1. So I want to see a clear of the liquidity above that high. Clearly, we are bullish to the upside, right? However, on the 4 hours time frame, let's look at what is happening. On the 4 hour time frame, we are currently in a range. If people that trade channel will say this is like a channel or trend line, right? Price is following a trend line, which most likely will be invalidated before we now see a major push to the downside. So on the daily time frame, on the 4 hour time frame on Nasdaq, nothing really clear because of this price action I'm seeing. Because of this price action I'm seeing, there's no really clear direction. On the daily, we're sure we are buying to the upside. However, if I'm going to take any action on US 100, that's NAS 100, I want to just see a break of this high first, right? Or a break of this low to determine what exactly where we are going to. Probably on the lower time frame, might see areas where we can enter. There's nothing on the lower time frame for us to even take trade this morning. So we might as well just be patient on US 100, right? That's Nasdaq, except for those that want to trade say box strategy, right? Want to take even box strategy, the trade has played out already, which was this, right? It was a sweep of this one, um, break to the downside, and price give us this heavy fair value gap that aligns with this breaker block here. And what the price did, price tapped into that breaker block, and then we saw it turn to the downside. Although we didn't finally clear all of this, but then this was a very good trade. You would have taken probably 1:2, 1:3 out from the trade, which is quite also good, right? It's a good trade if you're able to make that happen. So, but intraday basis, there's nothing really clear on 1 hour. Probably if we go down to 30 minutes, might see a good trade. Also on the 30 minutes, there's nothing really clear, to be honest with us. There's nothing really clear that we can use to actually enter this market, except if we just want to enter blindly, which I don't advise. I don't advise. Want to go and scalp on 5 minutes, 1 minute, that's good for you. However, I don't advise that. All right. And the last one to S&P 500. S&P 500 is having this, almost the same price action with US 30. Bullish on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame. All right. Interesting. This will have been a very good place to buy. Like what I used to say, just imagine price tapped this fair value gap resting above here, and then look at what happened to the upside. So guys, it's not fluke when it comes to indices. I don't know about other pair, probably they respect or they don't respect. But when it comes to US 30, NAS 100, S&P 500, see fair value gap, if you're able to master catching fair value gap, you will make a lot of money, right? A lot of money. Of course, cannot get those outrageous 1:17, 1:18, but you see 1:2, 1:3, you will bag it. Like you'll be bagging it consistently. If you're able to, dwell on that, right? If you're able to dwell on that. I'm trying to look for the setup I took yesterday. Can't even find it again. Can't find it again. But let's look at the 4 hours time frame for analysis for areas where we can buy from. This level has been tested. Now we have this level that price is running away from. I don't know why. And then this our higher low that price haven't gotten to. So it's in a bit, it's kind of in a range for now. And then we might just want to wait patiently to see price break out of this range before we engage. Look at this price action. It's not really encouraging, right? You don't have enough reference to make any informed decision looking from this price action. You just want to calm down and then wait for price to break any of these lines, and then you might use that to now enter the market, right? If for any reason price tap into this place, there's a fair value gap just beneath here, aligned with another block. Of course, there's no liquidity sweep, so that's a concern for me. However, we can still just mark out that area and then see how price is going to react off of it, right? On the 1 hour time frame, is there anything special we're looking at? Is there anything special? Price is doing nothing really special, guys. Nothing really special. To not waste our time, we call it a wrap here for indices. By 2 o'clock, when we come for our New York market color session, then we can now, I believe by that time, we'll have seen more volume coming into the market, more activities in the market, more candles will have been printed, and we can then use those candles to, interpret what our setup, our respective setup. All right, guys, this is a good place to ask your question. Please, if you have any question, you can ask them in the chat bot, and then how we respond to you. If you have any question concerning US 30, NAS 100, S&P 500, questions regarding the analysis, you have contrary opinion about the setup, of course, this is a good place to just, say them so that we can look into them. The goal is not to be like the Superman. The goal is to make informed decision. There can be blind spots you are observing on the charts that I'm not seeing. You can let me know, and then we can look into it together. All right. While we're doing that, we'll be going on a very short break, and in about say 30 to 1 minute, 30 seconds to a minute, my colleague will be coming up for analysis on commodity asset class, right? And by then, I believe we will have typed our question. All right. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. Ensure you don't leave. And we'll meet again after the session by 2 o'clock for the continuation.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second part of today's market colo session. Please let me know if you can hear me, and you can also see my chat. Good morning, G Crowns. Good morning, Mr. Shay. Good morning, Mr. Ebuko. Amazing to see you all here. Okay, so this session is going to be, Mr. Shay, good morning, sir. My session is not going to be very long because not much has changed since our Tuesday's analysis. Just quickly bring up my peers. Not much has changed, to be honest. So it's going to be very brief. AUD/USD H4 time frame. What do we see? We're clearly bearish. We're still bearish. We expected price to reverse into the zone and drop. On the 1 hour time frame, it's clearer. So we had marked out our momentum as POI1, POI2, and POI3, just like we always do. And we said we're going to wait for price to get to those zones and then expect to sell. Now, price is just now trading into our momentum, right? So, of course, we're not going to just jump into the market now. We're going to be waiting to see what price does on time frames like M5 and M1 first before we now take entries. But peradventure price breaks above the zone, then it's coming here and it's coming here before we continue the H4 sell to the downside, right? Okay, M5 now, marking out those specific points of interest that I like to mark out, which include yesterday's high and low, day before yesterday's high and low. Just going to bring out my period separator. So this is yesterday's high, this is yesterday's low. The next one being right here, day before yesterday's high and day before yesterday's low. You see that price is now retracing. Give me a second to delete this. Price has now retested into day before yesterday's low and is starting to drop. On the M1 time frame, what do I see right now? Are there any entries for an attempt of AUD/USD sell? Okay, so this now looks like a perfect entry to take a sell on AUD/USD right at this particular point in time. It's going to sell all the way down here for sure, which is just what, 14 pips, not much. Except there is stackers and you take multiple positions with, then you could want to attempt this sell. And the stop loss right now isn't even too much. But this is going to be a 1:1 trade if I'm following just M1 as my risk to return basis. But if I'm looking at M5 and trying to calculate where next price is going to, I know that AUD/USD is going to find support here. Two things would happen. So that price eventually breaks below this zone and continues selling, continues the overall H4 movement downward, or it's just going to trade in here, find support, and then eventually break above to trade into those H1 time frames that we marked out right here and here, right? So two things you can do: either attempt to sell right now on AUD/USD, take out those tiny moves, tiny pips, and then close it to see what price does at that zone, or you wait and see if price is going to break below M5 possible support level. Is price going to break above here? However, I believe AUD/USD is going to sell from here to at least this point, which is about 30 pips in total. I expect it to sell all the way in here before it finds substantial support. The support I'm seeing right here is just the indicators. So there's a possibility that price is going to break below, trade all the way in here first before it now continues either to the upside or eventually breaks through and continues the downward movements, right? So this is my perspective. I'm very bearish on AUD/USD. Price has given me entry for AUD/USD sell right at this point in time. So for my viewers, those online, if you want to take the AUD/USD sell, by all means, attempt it, apply proper risk management, and let's see what price does. The stop loss should not be too, just apply proper risk management. I believe we all know how to do that, so I don't really need to dwell on that, right? Okay, NZD/USD now, H4 as well, was still very bearish. However, on NU, we were looking at short-term buys, we're looking at the sales happening anytime soon. But now that price has traded into the momentum, are we going to see what we just saw on AUD/USD happening here as well? Let me just go ahead and mark out my H1 point of interest. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Price has found resistance at this zone. Is it going to hold? M5, what do I see? On M5, I'm still going to use the horizontal line because it's much faster than using the insert the rectangular shape. So period separator, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. The line we drew on the H1 is in confluence. Okay, not really. This is day before yesterday's low, and then day before yesterday's high. So you see that price is currently in a zone and it's about to break out of this particular zone that it is 60566 and 60521. If price breaks below here, if our entry has been met as well on NU, on M1, then we're selling to this point. At this zone, we can now take partials and wait to see what price does. Either it breaks below and continue selling, or just going to find support and keep buying till it trades into the H1 point of interest. So that's why I said not much is really happening. It hasn't really changed since Tuesday. We're still just observing, except now we see possible entries, more preferably for AU. The possible sell entry for AU happening right now. So USD card now, what do we see on USD card? USD card H4, this has been buying for a long time. Finally broke above this high. It's now buying, right? So of course we're saying or seeing that USD card is going to sell short term against the trend. Now, when I say certain things are going to sell, when the overall trend is to the upside or downside, it's mostly reversals. I believe we all know that. So I'm expecting USD card to sell. Fine, come here. Possible support level A, also attempt to buy, and then possible support level B, which is already marked, possible support level C here, and then we'll continue buying in line with the H4 time frame. Okay, so yes, this is it. Pretty straightforward. I'm just watching AUD USD. I'll go on my chart, and if I haven't missed the entry, if it hasn't gone too far to make my stop loss too wide, I will take a sell on AUD USD and see how it plays out. But if the entry has already moved further, then I can enter to get a proper 1:2 at the barest minimum trade. Then I'll just wait, right? So after this analysis, I'm going to go on my chart and check. You should also try join my buyers with your analysis, get extra confluence, and take the trades. And that's pretty much it for my session. As a recap, I don't know if my colleague already mentioned it, but we have our FXB training coming up in Abuja in November. So if you are in Abuja and you want to take our training, please by all means just send us a message on our WhatsApp or Telegram number, and we're going to give you more details on that. We also shifted the market color from 3 p.m. to 2 p.m. now, so that you don't forget. You just set an alarm on your phone. We're going to be having the recap by 2 p.m. By then, we'll see what the market has done so far. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining. Let me know if you have questions. If not, we'll pretty much call it a day here. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sheon. Thank you everyone else for joining. It's been amazing talking to you. Okay, G Crown, I see you. As my boss would always say, I don't know why I did that. As my boss would always say, cheers and God bless. Have an amazing trading day. Peace.